Ocean acidification is a condition where the pH level in the ocean decreases, causing the water to become more acidic. The water's pH level is decreasing due to the fact that the carbon dioxide levels in the Earth's atmosphere is rising. The Australian Government Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority website states that this is estimated to have already caused the chemical composition of the ocean to decrease the pH level by 0.1. Unfortunately, this is having an alarming effect on the Great Barrier Reef, with the report of the reef's growth slowing by 13% since 1990. Being named one of the 7 wonders of the natural world, it's crucial that its preservation and beauty is kept in its most natural state and kept untouched from human interference. Due to its beauty and scale, it is a natural wonder that will never occur again, and actions need to be taken to ensure it lasts for generations. When fossil fuels are put into the Earth's atmosphere, increasing the carbon dioxide levels, roughly 30% of it is absorbed by the ocean, according to Global Climate News. When the CO2 is absorbed into the ocean, chemical reactions occur which causes the pH level to be reduced, creating a more acidic environment. This process is ocean acidification. When the CO2 enters the water, it reacts to create carbonic acid. This carbonic acid then separates and creates bicarbonate ions and protons, which then react with carbonate ions to produce more bicarbonate ions. This leads to a reduced number of much needed carbonate acid to the coral reef. This has a direct result on biologically important carbonate minerals which help form skeletal structures in organisms and corals. The reef's ability to be able to sustain itself is compromised, as well as weakening of the structure, making it more vulnerable to storm damage and erosion. The Great Barrier Reef is a complex and delicate ecosystem that is facing challenges from human activity as well as forces from Mother Nature. The ecosystem can rebuild itself from natural forces such as cyclones and storm damage, usually because there is time in between to recover. Yet this time is being diminished as human activity is forcing the reef to be constantly struggling under the pressures of rising water temperatures and increased levels of CO2 being absorbed from the atmosphere. A recent paper by the Australian Institute of Marine Science states that the ability of coral to form their skeleton is now 15% less than what it was prior to 1990. There needs to not only be an Australian contribution, but also a worldwide contribution to lowering greenhouse gas emissions into the Earth's atmosphere. Without proactive and advanced progress to ensure that industries are aware of the effect they are having on the Great Barrier Reef, research shows that the reef will continue on a downward spiral. It must be a global participation from all levels of local, state, and national government. Through advertisements and online campaigns, communities and groups can put in place actions to ensure that they are doing all they can to prevent high levels of CO2 being put into the Earth's atmosphere. To ensure the reef's survival, the CO2 emissions must stop increasing and begin to decrease to ensure the reef is left for generations to come.